Hey Ryu, I saw earlier that you posted on my Facebook page that you had a couple of questions regarding arcade sticks. I know you're excited about the release of Tekken 6 and you were interested in getting back into playing with sticks as opposed to the controller pad. I have not personally played with the arcade stick that you are talking about, the wireless Tekken 6 one, but I will show you some of the arcade sticks that I do own, and hopefully it can help you when it comes time for you to buy an arcade stick. So here we go. I'm going to start with a tour of the two Hori sticks that I own, and if anything, the components of these sticks will be similar to the ones found in the Tekken 6 wireless stick. I'm just assuming that because they're Hori sticks, and the push buttons and joysticks are something they'd probably carry over to the wireless one for Tekken 6. Unless they do put full sound wall parts, then that's a completely different story. But I'll go ahead and give you a rundown on the Hori Fighting Stick EX. Alright, so here we go. This is the Hori Fighting Stick EX2. This one in particular was the first arcade stick that I have bought for any fighting game that I played on the Xbox 360. This is the basic form factor for the EX2. As you can see, I also have a Soul Calibur 4 branded one. It's the exact same stick, but they special brand them for upcoming release fighting games, and this happens to be the Soul Calibur 4 one. The components of both sticks are the exact same joystick, same push buttons. I was looking at the photo reference for the Tekken 6 wireless one, and it appears to have the same layout, but with the addition of two buttons here, and the start and select will be up here. You also mentioned that you noticed the difference of start and select buttons up here as opposed to off of the face like the Street Fighter 4 ones. I never found the buttons, like the start and select buttons up here, to be bothersome, but some people have complained that when they're button mashing on the face, that sometimes that they would accidentally pause the game while in a fighting session. I haven't had that problem, but it was nice for the Street Fighter 4 sticks to do that, so I find that to be a con of the Tekken 6 wireless stick. I would have wished that they put it off the side of the face. But regardless, this is a great starter stick. I paid around $50 for this one, and this was my second arcade stick that I bought in my collection, and I found this off of a game store that happened to have one still since the launch of Soul Calibur 4 about a year and a half later, and they had it marked up a little bit to I think $60 or $70, but I bought it anyways because I was like, oh, it looks so cool, and I really liked Soul Calibur 4 at the time. So I'm pretty sure they have a Street Fighter 4 branded one of this as well, but they don't sell that over here in the US. I haven't seen it myself personally, but also a nice thing to note about the Hori sticks is the headphone jack. If you have an Xbox 360 wired headset, you could this is plug and play. You pretty much plug your headset in here, and you're ready to go. That about sums it up for the Hori stick. Oh, and it's also wired. Alrighty. Well, that's a rundown of the Hori EX2 fight stick. Okay, now we're going to take a look at the Street Fighter 4 arcade fight stick. These arcade sticks are actually made by a company called Mad Catz, not Hori, as you had mentioned earlier in your post. If you've ever bought any previous Mad Catz accessory before, like memory cards or Mad Catz Xbox 360 controllers or even PlayStation 1 controllers, the company's been around for a long time, but they are pretty infamous for making some pretty lousy and crappy gaming peripherals. This hasn't been the case with this accessory, I'm safe to say. Lately they've been pumping out a lot of good gaming accessories, such as this arcade stick, the bass guitar for Rock Band 2, and even the higher premium arcade stick, the Tournament Edition. All really great products. I think Mad Catz has really turned around for the better for this year, and hopefully their future products will be even better or just as good. But anyways, for the arcade stick itself, you can already see that compared side by side to the EX2, it's a little bit bigger, and in my personal opinion, it's a little bit nicer to play on, mainly because the way the face is shaped on this controller. I'll give you a side view of it really quick just to show you what I mean. As you can see, the actual face of the controller has it slanted right about here. It's not a completely flat surface like the EX2. I say it's better because when you're actually resting your palm on it, it feels really nice. And I played with this for quite a long time, and I didn't have any fatigue on my hands or fingers at all. So that's a plus about this stick, is the shape of the face is pretty unique to this stick. I haven't seen it on any stick, even compared to the Tournament Edition. Some other nice little features, as I mentioned before, the start and select button are off of the face of the controller and actually on the side. So if you're playing Street Fighter 4, somebody gets you in a dizzy, start button mashing to get out of the dizzy, you won't worry about pausing the game accidentally. So the start and select buttons are off the face. The push buttons, they feel different than the EX2 and Hori sticks. The EX2, I forgot to mention earlier, the buttons, they feel very pushy. It has a very high action, so it's going to feel like you're putting more effort into pushing the button, but some people prefer that. I know some people don't like Sanwa parts or even these parts because it feels like you're not even doing anything because the buttons are so sensitive. But in my opinion, I think the sensitive buttons are a lot better than these. But then again, this is like a cheaper stick than this, and even the Tournament Edition, so you get what you paid for. The button layout on the Street Fighter 4 sticks are pretty unique because it's an 8-button layout, but the nice thing about it is that you could play it in a couple of different ways. You could play it Japanese styled, or they call it the Japanese style, which is all the white buttons, so it's kind of like at an angle or a curve. Play with these 6. Or if you like to play more American style, you could play it with just these 6 buttons straight across and ignore these. So it's pretty nice that you could have 2-in-1 in this arcade stick. The joystick itself, it does feel different than the Horis, obviously, but the main difference is that I've noticed when you're actually executing like a fireball command or a dragon punch, it takes a lot less effort to actually move this joystick than it does this, because this one it moves a lot further than this stick. You know, I would personally, if you can, try the stick out, you'll see what I'm talking about. The initial run of these sticks, they weren't so good. I'll admit that, because the first run of these, they had problems with the internal components for the joystick. But Mad Catz, I got them on the phone, and they sent me a replacement joystick, and I just basically opened the bottom, replaced it, and it works beautifully. People have claimed that there's no more problems with these sticks, so don't even consider that an issue, but I just thought I'd let you know. Another main difference is that on the EX2 you have your control HUD up here, like your Xbox 360